Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. Today, we're gonna upcycle a jean jacket I have because I have had this jean jacket since I graduated school. My friend gave it to me. And then recently my brother was getting rid of a jean jacket and I took that one and I like that one better. So I'm going to be, there's already these holes and then I've kind of cut them already. I'm in the middle of this because I realized I should be filming when I started this, but there's already kind of these holes, but I made them a little bit bigger. And this is what we're working with. It was already kind of like distressed. And my idea, I saw today on Instagram, a girl did like a lining of a jean jacket that was a quilt. So like the inside was a quilt and the outside was the jean jacket. And I thought that was super cool. And then also a nice way to make this into more of like a coat that I could use like in the winter. But also I don't want just the lining to be a quilt because then no one will really see it. So my thoughts are the holes that were already there that I made bigger, I'm going to make little quilt squares to go behind them. And then do the quilted lining and then the bottom do like a bottom border that's quilted as well, if that makes sense. I think that it'll be nice to have like more of the quilt poking out. And then I want to also just make like one quilt square, like one big one that I can put on the back of the jean jacket as well. So I'm excited. Also, this is a great way to use up my scraps because I kind of just want this to be just like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different patterns and colors. And I have a bunch of scraps from the quilts I've made before and the quilt I'm working on now and everything. So I've written the pattern for the back piece. My work headbands on because I'm very focused, but the rest of it, I'm not gonna write a pattern for because I'm just gonna take the measurements of the jacket, cut that out in my fleece, and then measure the dimensions of that and then just divide it. So yeah, when I cut it, I'll cut for seam allowance, but I think I'll do 2-inch squares and then on the bottom, I will add 2 more rows of 2-inch squares so I can fold that up to make the little border at the bottom. And then I'm kind of thinking about cutting the button cuffs off the sleeves and making like a border cuff up there as well. But that will have to do with if I can get my sewing machine around the sleeve. Okay, so I got all of these things cut and I already made what's gonna go on the back. And I might change the color of these now that I'm looking at it like this, but this is the block. I'm gonna pin it all down and like fold over the edges and everything and then sew it on before I do the inside part. Okay, so I have the back all sewn on. I decided against the green. I actually just like it like that. Now I'm gonna lay out the squares on this to see what order I want to put them in. And then I'm gonna sew them all together and then quilt them to these and then attach it to the jacket. But let's not get ahead of myself. Everything laid out. We have the collar order, the wrist cuff order, and then this is what the inside will look like. So that's the top to the bottom, and then this is the bottom cuff or whatever you want to call it. I wanted to like color order, which is cute. I also realized I cut like 16 extra squares. So I might take out these bright red ones because or mostly that one because it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. Would it really be a project that I'm doing if I wasn't pivoting halfway through? I saw these all connected and I thought, this is too good to hide on the inside of a jean jacket. So instead of fleece lining this jean jacket and then quilting or putting the quilt squares on it, I'm gonna leave the jean jacket as is with my lovely little patch on the back. Still the little jean jacket upcycle, but then I'm gonna use what I just did and just make it into a sweatshirt. I already have all the fleece cut out and I have all the squares. And the only thing I didn't make squares for were the sleeves because I wasn't gonna do internal sleeves with the quilt blocks in the denim jacket. So I have this fabric. This lighting is terrible in here. It's like a dusty pink and it goes really nicely with these squares. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the sleeves out of the pink. I still have the collar that I made and the 2 wrist cuffs. So then I can put these on the other ends and then it kind of like ties it all together. But it's not like so busy with all the squares. Also, I don't think I'm gonna have enough of all the colors to make more squares for the sleeves. Okay, so everything is quilted and I'm gonna attach the body pieces to the sleeves and then bind everything. When I'm binding everything, I'll bind the pockets and then sew the pockets on. I did lay out the quilted parts in the jean jacket and I thought it looked really cute, but that's the issue, is that I thought it looked so cute and I don't want to hide that inside a jacket. Every time I do these quilted jackets, I first sew these two top seams and then bind them. And then I attach the sleeves and bind that. Okay, so now I attach the wrist cuff parts and then I will sew this seam on both sides. I've attached one pocket and then I just have to sew this pocket on now. Okay, I actually decided to add a hood because I realized I'd be mad if I didn't. So I just did 2 layers of fleece and then I bound the seam with what I was gonna use to bind the collar. And then I think I'm just gonna bind the bottom with the navy blue I've been using and use what I was gonna use down here to bind the rim of the hood there to tie the color in more to the hood. And I like that the hood is navy blue and not pink because the reason I was skeptical of a hood is because I didn't want to add any more pink to the garment. I felt like the pink was going to overpower the grid pattern. So I like that the hood now can like bring a new color. Well, not new because all the binding is navy, but you know what I mean. So now I'm going to bind these seams and then I'm going to bind this seam here, put the zipper on, and then the last one I'm going to do is the bottom. It's done. Look at her. She's so cute. I love the back and the like detail on the hood here, the binding that's patchwork, and the front binding is also the patchwork. Now, somewhere along the way, this became uneven at the bottom here. These bottom does not line up. I mean, the zipper lines up because I sewed it that way, but like it's like this much off. And what's confusing about that is that this is lined up perfectly at the top and they're both the same length. So not sure what happened, but I don't really care that much. I'm like, if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. Plus, this started out as not a sweatshirt. This was going to be the lining of a jacket. So I didn't really measure it to be a sweatshirt anyway. So like all things considered, I'm really happy with how it turned out and I'm really excited to wear it. I'm kind of sad though that it's summer now, so it's too hot to wear it, but it's still a bit chilly here. So maybe there'll be a day in here somewhere that I get the chance to wear it. I really love that it's thinner than my other ones I've made. So it can be more of like a hoodie and less of a jacket. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my little project switcheroo situation. And I hope this inspired you to do a project or change project halfway through, maybe, if it serves you better. And if you haven't done something creative yet today, go and do something creative. Bye.